Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is November the 14th, 2018. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today on the Marriage Edition, we're going to talk about finishing together. If you're accessing our podcast through any of our providers, Stitcher, iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify, or Spreaker, please subscribe so you can get a notification when we make new ones available. If you'd like to listen to any old podcasts or get a copy of our book, Real-Esteem, Finding Your Identity in Christ, please visit us at enith.com, EYNIITH.com. One of the most frustrating things to me is when I try to start something and I do not complete it, or I am not able to complete it. Have you ever planned to have a date with your wife, and from the moment you begin that plan, you have obstacle after obstacle after obstacle that seems to deter you or get in the way of what you're trying to accomplish, which is just making sure you keep your marriage strong by going out on dates. Something simple, but we have to learn how to finish what we start. Regardless of the obstacles, we have to go over them, through them, around them to get to the end goal, because that is what's going to create what the effect that we actually want, which is a closer relationship with one another. Even with God, we cannot get close to God without seeking Him, reading His Word, listening after praying. Doing all these things are great, but if you don't take time out to actually finish something that He started, you don't really see the full reward of what He was having you finish the project to start with, or start the project to begin with. So in 2 Corinthians 8:11, it says, "So now finish doing it as well, so that your readiness in desiring it may be matched by your completing it out of what you have." In other words, finish what you start. Make an effort, a special effort. If you plan to do something, don't do it halfway. Do it all the way. Make a focus on getting that thing done, especially in your marriage. All the little things that you can do that are going to be a benefit or a help, try to do those. Don't spend so much time focusing on somebody noticing everything that you're doing. That will come. Just make sure you put out the effort to try to do the little things that are going to help and benefit your marriage. If you don't put the time in, you won't get the reward from putting the time in. And you'll never see the benefit or the whole or true benefit you could have in a relationship if you put the time in. Philippians 1:6 says, "And I am sure of this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ." So God starts things and He finishes them. He does not start and then stop and start and then stop like people do in dating relationships. They start and then they stop. They find someone else and they start and then they stop. Really, when you're talking about a real relationship, if you want to be married, you're going to have to learn how to deal with the good and the bad, to get through the good and the bad, and to come out on the other side with a better perspective, a better attitude, and a better future. You can't have that better future if you don't put in the work during the problems, during the misunderstandings, during the times where you're not listening and the person is trying to tell you. And if you would just listen, you would find out how to handle that problem instead of always having an answer prior to finishing listening to the person. There's so many simple things that we can do that will help us finish. But if we don't take time out to recognize our own issues, our own problems, our part in the relationship that may be causing static, frustration, whatever, then it's kind of hard to fix. If you can't see your own problem, if you can't see the log in your own eye, you can't fix the speck in someone else's. Finishing off, Ecclesiastes 7:8 says, "Better is the end of a thing than its beginning, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." The goal is not so that you can stand up, let everybody know what you've accomplished, to be seen, noticed, to have accolades. The goal is to have a better relationship with your spouse. Doing that is going to create better relationships with other people around you. And a matter of fact, it really does help your kids when the relationship between the parents is really good. It helps them grow up, and they won't be they will not have a proud spirit. They will have a elated spirit because they see what a real relationship is like. I hope you got something out of this today. Be blessed. Grace and peace.